Hello everyone, welcome to Oracle ERP Group. Today we are going to talk one more important and interesting topic, supplier import process or supplier conversion. If you want to be a strong functional consultant, you should understand how conversion is working and how good are you at conversion. This is one of the important questions whenever you go for an interview, or this is one of the important concepts you should aware when you're working on an implementation project. Okay, moving on. We can call this as import suppliers or supplier conversion. Let's discuss this content step by step. Before moving on, hope you everyone likes my video and you are enjoying this video. I don't know how many people really getting benefit from my video. Guys, if you really like my video and my contents are really useful, please put a comment on my YouTube channel and do like my video and put a subscribe for my channel as well, so that it will motivate me to put more videos. For each of the contents, I'm spending almost 10 to 20 hours. Based upon your comment, I understand that, okay, a lot of people are getting benefits, so we have to put more videos in the similar fashion. Thank you so much. So let's move on to the content first. So today I'm going to explain how to import supplier from a third-party system. So in this video, I'm going to show the step-by-step how to import suppliers from a third-party system to Oracle. Everyone knows why do we import a supplier, right? For example, my company recently purchased a supply chain company, let's say ABC. In that company, I have 20,000 suppliers. In my current company, I have, let's say, like 10,000 suppliers already moved into Oracle. And the newly acquired company ABC have 20,000 suppliers. I need to bring it into Oracle, right? This is what we are going to see. Okay, ABC company have 20,000 suppliers, and how can I import all the suppliers into Oracle? Oracle is providing us FBDI templates. It means file-based data integration template. This is one of the Excel template. In that Excel template, we load all the supplier details, and those details will be loaded into the Oracle UCM. UCM is a repository. And once the data has been moved into Oracle UCM, the data will be loaded into the Oracle interface table, and finally it will move into Oracle base table after all the successful validations done at the interface level. What I should remember as a consultant? You should remember two important programs. One is load interface file for import, and the other one is what kind of activity you are going to do. Whether are you going to import a supplier, or are you going to import a supplier address, or what are you going to do? Supplier sites, bank account, what exactly do you have to do? That particular activity you have to remember. So if you remember these particular two different programs, ESS jobs, then that's it. You are good at your supplier conversion level to run the programs. Before moving on to this process, always I recommend that run this program, Purge Supplier Interface Records program. This particular job will help us to import the program from delete all the supplier error. I mean, any interface records is available, everything it will clear. So whenever you want to load any supplier records, first you have to load the run this program, so that all your interface errors, any records which got blocked in the interface table, everything will be cleared. Okay, so this is one of the important ESS job you have to remember, and this you need to run. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Okay, so when you are importing a supplier import, what you should understand? So you have to understand supplier and supplier address, supplier site. These all are like different levels of importing the supplier. Let me show you. Let me take one of the existing supplier. I'm taking one of the existing supplier. Okay, so if you open this existing supplier, we are seeing their supplier profile, supplier, this is nothing but supplier profile. and this is supplier address, supplier site, supplier contact, and qualification. I arranged all the supplier import activity in a single order. And bank account, this is like a bank account of a supplier. Uh, in Oracle ERP, we'll have like three different bank accounts on a high level, I can say. One is from the customer bank account, one is supplier bank account, and one is the business bank account. In this case, this is nothing but a supplier's bank account. So this is not a business bank account. This is the account which business will pay to the suppliers. So this particular bank account is available at header level, address level, or site level. So this you cannot see it here, but you can see it at the profile level. This is called, here you can see the bank accounts, and the next is address level. In this case, like bank account is not loaded, so that's the reason it's not showing. Sorry, let me open again. That is bank profile level, and this is address level. Again, like from address also, you can see the bank account. So in case if anyone asking any questions at what level the bank accounts are defined for a supplier, then you should say it's at 3 level, profile level, address level, and site level. So here also you can see the bank accounts, right? Let me go on to the site level. Let me quickly show you the site level also. Site level also, if you go inside, you can see payments, under the payments, bank account. See, these are the 3 level, you can see the bank account. So in this case, the supplier bank account is defined at the supplier site level alone. Okay, so now how can I get the FBDI templates? So let me go to the slide, this Google. Now what do you want? I want to prepare a conversion templates for suppliers, right? Oracle Supplier FBDI templates. If you put, you can get a lot of suppliers input template. Let me go to the latest release. Okay, so these are the templates. FBDI template will be available for not only for procurement, for all the modules we have. So these, all the templates belongs to procurement. What do you want? We need suppliers, right? I'll go to the supplier model. So in procurement module for supplier alone, I have these many templates: supplier address, attachments, business classifications, contact, site assignments, supplier sites, and supplier. So what do we need? We need first supplier, right? I'm going to take one of the FBDI for supplier. So I just clicked this XLSM template. XLSM is nothing but for file-based data integration template. So for import suppliers, this is the link I click. Let me open the slide. I'm opening one of the import supplier import FBDI. So first, what we have to do, first you have to right click, show more options, properties, and keep this as unblock so that your macro will start function on it. So once it is enabled, you can see the symbol here. Let me open here. Okay, that's it. You can see the suppliers sample data. This is nothing but your sample data. Okay. By default, Oracle has given what are the sample data you need to load the supplier. So here they have given create. Since there's a new implementation, by default, everything, most of the suppliers they are given as create. If you, in case in your existing system, these suppliers are available, then you need to do update. This is just an sample data. So no need to do more research on this. So some suppliers, like it can be prospective, some it can be spend authorized, etc. Right? Okay, so they have given these many details. So this is how like each template will have the sample data, and you can use the sample data to load into your Oracle system. So first, let me close this template, and I can show you one of the few templates which I loaded for your quick demonstration. So I already have few templates in my list. Okay, these are the few templates I already stored in my system. This all the supplier template. This is a supplier bank account is nothing but financial module because it's a like payment related template. So this one I took from FBDI templates for financials. Okay, just like procurement, there is one more is there for financials. So I taken the template from the financial. So that's the reason I have 5 templates I downloaded from the supplier and procurement, and one is from the financial. So let me quickly show one of the template which I defined some time back. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new supplier. Let's keep it as um, Guru US. I'm keeping it as Guru US. Okay, so this is my supplier 1 and this is my supplier 2. And I'm keeping the import action as always update, create, as this is a new supplier in the environment. Corporation, so tax organization type. Let me open the supplier screen profile. When I'm creating the supplier for the first time, supplier, when I'm defining, I have to define these fields and all, like what is the organization type, what is the supplier type, what is the business relationship, etc. Right? I'm keeping the organization type as corporation and supplier type as supplier and business relationship as spend authorized. So if I have a prospective suppliers, then I have to mention it as prospective, right? And keeping the rest of the fields, US, these and all, and then taxpayer country. Since I'm doing for the US implementation, I'm keeping it as US and taxpayer ID. So this taxpayer ID should be very unique for any supplier, whichever you are doing. Let me keep it as 58 and let it be 59. Okay, I'm given a unique taxpayer ID with respect to the supplier and a payment method. So what is the payment method I'm going to use for the supplier? This is also one of the important parameter for definition for a supplier. I'm keeping this as check. That's it. These are the important fields. Now let me click the show additional attribute to see any unnecessary values, anything is defined. If anything is there, I'm going to, sometimes it can be inactive or anything, it can be there. I'm just making sure that there is no unnecessary values has been defined. Okay, we are good. So there is no unnecessary values. I deleted all the unnecessary values. So now let me generate a zip file. So what the process is, once a template has been filled with the necessary supply related informations, all the mandatory informations I'm talking about, all the stars should be filled. So import action is a mandatory field and supplier name is a mandatory field, and whatever the star is there here as well, all the star fields you have to fill it. In this case, the batch ID, I'm not going to give any batch ID. If you want, okay, let me give the batch ID also, 100, 100. Or even if you're not giving the batch ID also, doesn't matter. But when you're doing implementation, always keep this is for a demo, I'm not going to mention. But when you're doing a big implementation, keep the batch ID so that the interface will pick the specific batch to import into the Oracle. Okay, that's it. So I'm good. Let me quickly verify all the data is correct. Let me hide an additional attributes. Okay, we are good. Let me generate a CSV file. So once the data has been filled, you need to generate a zip file. So these are the zip file we are going to we are going to load it into Oracle. So first, interface file, zip file is ready. So now let me move on to interface section. So let me open parallelly two different schedule process so that I can quickly run two different programs. Tools, schedule process. First, what we have to do, we have to run this program, right? Load interface. So this is the first program we need to run, load interface 5 for import. Let me run it. This program will load the data into the interface, going to load it into the interface tables. Import suppliers. You need to tell what is the process to use. I selected the process and let me load the data into the UCM directory, upload file, select the zip file. Now what's happening is the file is loaded into this UCM repository. From this particular repository, once the program is submitted, it will move into the interface tables. Now the data is going to enter into the UCM interface tables. Let me run. Okay, the first program is completed. Let's wait for one more program to get completed. Just give for 10 seconds. It will get completed. That's it. All the three programs got successfully completed. Let me run one more program. Import suppliers. So this particular program is going to create the supplies in a base table from the data will be picked from the interface table, right? I'm keeping it as it is. There are many parameters, new or rejected. In my case, it's not a rejected record, it's a new record. So I'm keeping it as it is. And keep always exceptions only as no. And batch, in case, as I told you, in case if you have any specific batch to import, you can mention as 100. I mean 100 or whatever number you want. You can mention. Now let me submit it. Let's see what's happening. Import supplies program is successfully submitted. This program will get complete in another maybe 10 seconds. Yeah, it's running. It's completed. Okay. So now let's quickly go to the supplier section and see our supplier is created or not. Guru_US, right? So our supplier is ready. Guru supplies is ready. So, so before moving on to the searching this supplier, I can show you where the supplier is coming. So by default, usually the supplier we can find it here as we don't have created No suppliers, no address or anything. Let me refresh. Okay, for some reasons it's not showing at this particular screen. Um, yeah, yeah. Anyways, our supplier is supplier is created. So next, what we have to do is once supplier is created, next address and contact, everything we have to create, right? Let me open the supplier and I can show you. Guru US supplier. Okay, Guru US. So we have supplier one and supplier two, and these are the supplier numbers 1682 and 1683. Let me open Guru US. So now if you see that there is no address or site or contact anything, right? Let me keep it as it is. Let me run the next file. So again, this is another FBDI. I took from the FBDI procurement area. Let me close this particular FBDI. Our supplier name is Guru US, right? Guru US supplier one. And again, this one, Guru US supplier two. Create. Again, this is a create, right? Let me keep it as it is. And address. What is the address you want to define? For testing purpose, I'm keeping my own name, Guru US, Guru US. Address one and address two. In real time, it will be a proper address of a supplier, whoever you are handling. Country, and let me go to the address page. So what do we need? We need, these are the details to create a supplier. I'm clicking plus to show the manual way. So we need address name, country, address line, city, all these are mandatory. If anything is missing, it will throw an error. And address purpose, I can keep it as ordering and remit to or whatever. And so these detail, let me specify here. Address, country as given, address line as given, and what else we need? We need a city, state, all these things has been provided, and postal code. That's it. These details and all, yeah. And then we need ordering and pay. These two parameters we need. And RFQ, I'm keeping it as no. I'm using the supplier for ordering purpose and payment purpose, right? So that's it. This and all is not required. I've just given only the email address for my reference. Okay. This is just a dummy email address. So let me change it to my email address or okay, no worries. My scroll bar is getting locked, so I'm not going to change those things. I'm keeping it as it is. Okay. Guru US Dan, and this is. I'm just going to verify all the details are valid or not. Okay, everything is valid. Let me again, like I'm not going to give any batch ID. Okay. Let's quickly generate the CSV file. I'm going to generate the address. Okay, now the address is also ready. Okay, here we have the zip file for the address. Let me quickly run the process. Load interface. Let's quickly push the supplier address. Import supplier address. And let's keep the file in the UCM repository. Choose supplier address. Yeah, zip file always it should be zip file and not the CSV files. Submit. Let's refresh the screen. And parallelly, I'm going to keep the other program ready so that we can save some time. Import supplier addresses. I'm keeping it ready. Okay, everything is succeeded. In case if any warning or anything is there, you can click this program and go to the error log and you can see what is the status, why it is not loaded, everything we can see it here. For example, in this case, I'm going to the error log. I can see that two rows are successfully loaded. Logical records read to, everything is positive. So we are good. Now it's loaded, right? Now I'm going to import the supplier address. So once this is done, our supplier address also will get created. Let me refresh quickly. And let's parallelly open the next supplier site import template. Let's keep the similar name. I'm keeping the supplier 2. And let's refresh the screen. Oh, there is some error. Let me quickly fix this. Let's see, understand what is the issue. PDF. So what it says, to address not imported and supplier address not imported, supplier address imported too. So, okay, there is a maybe interface error, I believe. I did not. Okay, this is related to the interface error. Already we had some dummy data were there. So that's the reason this particular data is not pushed. So this is not our supplier, right? So we can skip. Let me refresh the screen and I can verify what is whether our supplier data has been imported or not. I'm going back to the supplier address. Let me, see, Guru US address is already created. So we are good with our integration. So next what we need next what we're going to do is we're going to create a supplier site. So before moving on to this particular setup, I'll tell you to run these programs and create the suppliers, you should have proper access in the supplier. I mean, in your you should have the necessary roles. You can see what are the necessary roles in one of my supplier site issue video I have already posted. So in that video, you can see what are the necessary roles is needed. So in this case, I already have a procurement agent and buyer, employee, everything has been created, and the US business unit 1 data access also provided. That's the reason I can see all the symbols or plus everything is available for me. Okay. So make sure that you must have necessary access so that it will not throw any error. Moving on to procurement business unit. I have only US one business unit. That's the reason I'm not giving UK or Europe or anything. And supplier address. So what is the address we need? We have already given the address, right? Let's keep that address as same as it is. It's Guru US, Guru underscore US, right? Let's keep it as is. Address name 1 and address name 2. Okay. So now I have provided what is the address and what is the site for each address. Okay. Supplier site, let me keep it as Guru US site 1. And this one also Guru US site 2. And the remaining fields, I'm not going to make any specific changes. So everything let it be. I'm going to the site. So what are the values we need to provide for the site? Mandatory values like procurement BU, address, site, and site purpose and all is a mandatory field. So let first, before filling this template, open each pages and see what are the mandatory fields you need to provide, right? I am just seeing all these mandatory fields and I'm providing as it is. So sourcing, purchasing and payment, I'm giving it as yes. I mean, basically, I'm enabling the flag by giving it as Y, and sourcing as no. So that's the reason I'm keeping. And procurement card, I'm not going to do anything. I can keep it blank or no, anything is fine. And moving on to the further fields, communication method, email, and Oracle. This one I can keep it as so for some reasons, I'm not able to uh, properly drag and edit my okay contents. Okay, now it's working. Let me keep my ID Oracle ERP Guru. Okay, and tax country, these and all not mandatories. Payment, if you go there, okay, since it is not created, I'm not able to see it. Okay, and make sure that the fax detail, if anything is there, by default, you can remove this fax country code and fax area, fax details and all. So for US, when you're creating, if any details is there, then that will throw an error. Sometimes it will not even throw an error. It will simply say warning or whatever. You cannot find the issue. But make sure that whenever you are doing a US implementation, make sure that that country code for, I mean, anything fax related, you just blindly delete it. Otherwise, it will throw an error. So this is one of the important thing you need to know before you running this site level programs. So rest everything or blank, blank, blank. So you can ignore it. So just these details are very, very important. Okay. So that's it. Now let's quickly create a new zip file for this. Let me generate. Now we are going to create a supplier site. Let's see whether I'm able to run this program successfully or not. New process and load interface. What do you want? We need import supplier sites, right? All these names will be in your Oracle documents also. Import supplier sites. Let me pick that from search. Import supplier sites, and let's keep the file in the directory, sorry, repository. Supplier sites. Yeah, this is the one we need. Supplier sites interface integrations. Let me give OK. Let's quickly run this. Let it run. And parallelly, let's open the other program. What is the other program? Import supplier sites, right? Yeah, this is, let it be ready. And let's quickly refresh the screen. Oh, everything is success. Import supplier sites. Let's run. Let's run this program. Refresh the screen. The supplier side is very, very important for a supplier. So we should be very careful when we are providing this data. Okay, again, there is some problem. Let me see what is the issue. I'm opening the file and then click the PDF. So if you see the PDF, you can understand supplier sites not imported one and supplier sites imported one. Okay, what is the issue? Let's see. Okay, this is again there is a old conversion data. This is the reason I was telling that we need to run the purge supplier interface records. This is it was a old data only causing an issue. So we are good because what happens when you're running the import supplies, it will pick the data from the your interface table, right? I purposely not run this program. Just I wanted to see whether we are getting any interface issue or not. So as expected, I'm able to see show you multiple issue with the interface. So let me run the purge supplier interface records after this. Okay, let me quickly go and see whether my site is imported or not. So in this case, like you can ignore this error because these things are like old records only. So this is not our record. Our record is not Guru. Guru's. Okay, I'm sorry. This is our record. I thought like it's a Guru site 1. Okay, Guru US supplier site 2. So why? Okay, the first one. Okay, let me see the below report. So 1682 successfully got imported. Okay, 1682 is what? 1682 is 1682 is already imported. So what is the problem? A value is required. You must provide a value. Rejected reason. Attribute vendor ID and vendor name. Vendor name is okay. For one of the record, the vendor ID and vendor name is missing. So let me open the file. Site import. Let's see what is missing. So in our case, okay, let me quickly go and see supplier supplier sites, right? Let me go to Guru suppliers. And our site is created. Let me go to the other supplier, Guru supplier 2. So 1682 is successfully created. Okay. Now I'm going to 1683. 1683. Okay. If you see that 1683 is not created, right? So this is because there is some supplier ID is missing for the for that second supplier. So let me open again. Okay. Guru US site 2. A value is required. You must provide a value. You must provide a valid value for either the vendor ID or the vendor name. Okay, vendor name. Supplier name is there. Okay, if you see that, you can understand what is the issue, right? The supplier, it's clearly showing that you must provide a valid value for either the vendor ID or the vendor name. So this vendor name, there is an error, right? Additionally, there is a gap is there in that place. Okay. So what we can do is let me delete this particular space. Now it's clear. So let me delete this particular line and let's load the supplier 2 alone. Okay. I'm going to save this. And yeah. So let me delete the old supplier 2 details. Sorry, supplier sites details. Let me delete it. And let me run this particular program. Generate CSV. And let's quickly generate new file for the supplier sites. Okay, let's run the load interface again. And import supplier sites, import supplier sites, and load the data into the interface, UCM repository, supplier sites. Sorry, I think I wrongly selected another file. Suppliers, I don't know why it's not generated. Let me run the, let me generate the file again. Somehow it's not stored. Okay, oh, so this is not a correct file. Let me cancel. Okay, so this is, oh, sorry, I generated accidentally supplier address. Let me close this. Let me open the file once again. We need supplier site, right? Let me go to the supplier site. Okay, so we need, let's delete this and let's delete the space. Okay, let's, okay, let's run the CSV file command and let's generate it. Okay, supplier sites file is ready. Okay, let me go back to the UCM repository and let's load it into the repository now. Supplier sites zip file, and let's give it as OK. And let's submit it. Okay, there is some error. Okay, let's. Okay, this is the old data. No worries. Okay, so our data has been successfully loaded. Now let's run the import supplier sites now. Import supplier sites. Okay, now I have done both the programs. Let's see this supplier site is successfully creating or throwing any error. Okay, there is some issue. Let me see what is the problem. Again, let me open the PDF. The address doesn't exist for the supplier. Okay, I understand what is the problem. Looks like I have given some space for address level also. There is some naming convention issue. That's the reason the address doesn't exist for the supplier. It is pointing out. So for testing purpose, let's use only the supplier one, and we can proceed. Okay. So in our case, we already have supplier one, right? Let me continue the testing with supplier one alone. This is just a naming typo. I mean, space, unnecessary space has been given in the Excel. That's the reason the data was not created. But this one anyway successfully created, right? Let me use this for further testing. So supplier site assignment. What is the site assignment? Site assignment. So this is the place we are going to, sorry, where it is. Under the site, there is a tab called site assignment. So that's a place we are going to assign the BU, procurement BU, client BU, or whatever. We are going to say what is this particular site is about. Okay. So let me delete the second line. And let me save this. And let me keep the name as Guru US. Okay, I given. And site, we need the site as Guru US site 1 and create and US1 business unit. So from here, we can see this. So here a client view is one of the important field and the rest are like, no, it's an optional field only. So build to view for everything, like I'm giving, I have only US1 business unit. So procurement, client, build to view, everything like whatever business unit you have given the access for with respect to the supplier. For this supplier, the this is the only business unit is accessible. So that's the reason I'm giving US1 business unit. Okay, so if any withholding tax or anything you want to enable, you can enable it as yes here. So in my case, this supplier is not a withholding tax supplier, normal supplier I'm creating. So I'm keep rest everything as null. Okay, let me go ahead and generate the CSV file. Let me save this first. This message you can warning, you can avoid it, ignore it. Generate CSV. Let me save here. So if you see the supplier, right now we don't have any BUs assigned, right? Let me go ahead and run this program. Load interface. Let's select the program. Import suppliers. Import supplier sites. Site assignments, sorry. We need site assignments. I think, yes, will not come. Yeah, now the supplier site assignment is selected and I'm going to keep the file into the repository. Supplier sites, where is it? Yeah. Oh, sorry, this is supplier sites. We need a site assignment. Here it is, site assignments, right? Yes. Now I provided the site assignment zip file. You should be very careful. Otherwise, it will throw an error. Okay, site assignment has been loaded. Let me parallelly run, keep the other program is ready. Import supplier site assignments. Okay, this is ready. Yeah, everything is success, right? Let me quickly run this program. Submit. Now the supplier data site assignment have to be imported. Let me go to the supplier and let me cancel and come back to the same supplier site assignment and see whether the BU has been picked up or not. I'm going to cancel and let's come back to the Guru US site 1 for a Guru US supplier 1. Okay. Let me click site edit site assignment. So if you see that the site assignment has been picked up for US1 business unit. So site assignment is also correct. And we have a supplier contact. So quickly create the supplier contact also. Okay, supplier contact. Okay, let's create supplier name, Guru US supplier 1 and address Guru US address 1. Let me open the file. Let's copy and keep it as it is. Guru US, address 1. And first name is Guru. Let's keep some other name, Raj or whatever it is. ERP Guru, Oracle ERP Guru at gmail.com. That's it. Let's run this program. So, okay, address is provided, and we need to fill these details also. Supplier contacts and address you need to provide. So contact this and all not important. So for time saving purpose, let me ignore this particular file, and let's move on to the important file is bank account. So let's focus on the bank account. So this is just in contact. So where it will come, I'll show you. Contacts. Yeah, let me cancel this. Yeah, contact. This is the place like the detail will come, but contact is mostly like not a very important detail unless like if the supplier have any specific contact or email ID to get into adding into the in real time, like we will add for testing purpose. This is not a very important things to understand. This is just a contact details to enter. So let's quickly ignore this and moving on to the very important payment supplier bank account import. So what, as I told you, the bank account can be imported at 3 levels: profile, address, and site. Everywhere you can import the bank account, right? So let me open the one of the bank account import template. So as I told you, this is comes under financial templates, FBDI. So this is one of the bank account import templates. So we have three different areas. One is IBY, TMP, EXT pays. These are all like tab names, or we can say it as even table names also. So this is a place where your bank account details of supplier is stored. Okay. So for testing purpose, let me give some import batch identifier 210. As I told you, this is not mandatory. I'm just giving some numbers, but in this case, for supplier bank account, it's asking as mandatory, right? So that's the reason I'm giving. Okay. So pay identifier. So we have to give some unique identifier for the pay. Pay in this case, I'm going to give the number as 1. And what is the supplier site? We have Guru US supplier site, right? Guru US suppliers site 1. Supplier. Sorry, this is this is supplier site. Guru US site 1, right? This is for site 2, but ours is site 1. Guru US site 1, right? And supplier number. I think our number is supplier number is what? 1. We need to provide the proper supplier number. In our case, it's 1682, right? Let's keep the supplier number as 1682. Let me close this and 1682. If you give the wrong supplier number, it will throw an error. So we are good with pay identifier. Pay is nothing but supplier. Okay, supplier's identifier. So what is the number for a system to identify? So this is one of the identifier number, and this is a supplier number. This is just like an ID number. Okay, and Guru site name you have to mention, and whether you want the supplier to be pay for with respect to each document alone, or you need to consolidate. You have to specify it here. In my case, I'm going to say pay each document alone, and payment method code is check. And let me show you. Let me take one of the supplier site. Let me go here. And even you can create the bank account manually as well. Okay, so I'm just going to show this is a particular place the bank account is going to load. So let's keep everything it as this and instruction. So these other details are not required. So this is a place where you will define all your um, uh, who is going to get the payment, right? Supplier is going to get the payment. So those details. And what is this? What is the bank account which has been which has to be create in your which has to be import in your in Oracle environment. So in my case, Bank of America. So here, like the bank names and branch names and all should be existing in your system. In your Oracle environment, bank names should be available. Just like HDFC or ICICI or whatever it is, that these banks are should be already pre-existing in your Oracle. Otherwise, it will throw an error. So what will happen is this bank account number alone, it will get created. So account number, let's keep it as 69, some numbers. And bank account. So I'm keeping it as Guru US bank account name. And these details are must be already created, right? Let me go and see first whether the bank accounts are already existing. Sorry, banks are already existing in this environment. If this is not existing, then it will throw an error. So let me go to the setup and maintenance. Um, Let me go to the bank setups, manage. So we need some banks, right? I want any bank for testing purpose. Okay, I already have a Bank of America is there, and branch supposed to be New York. I mean, in my case, if branch is existing, New York should be branch name is not there. People pulse is there. Okay, let me see what is the branch for this. Okay, New York is there. Okay, this is one of the branches available, right? So then we are good. We can continue with the further testing. Okay. Import batch identifier. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to first I say like who's my payee and what is his bank account. And now I'm going to connect the payee with the bank account. So payee, I already mentioned payee identifier. So whatever you mentioned here, the same number should be existing here. And bank account identifier. What is the identifier you mentioned? The same number, it should be connected here. And what is the assignment account identifier? So this also should be one of the unique numbers. So if you keep here, it will tell you what is this. This also, as I told you, this is also one of the unique number for a pays bank account assignment for an import batch. So whatever is importing, this particular number will be in a unique number. And that's it. So what is when do you want this account to be get active? So from next week onwards or next month onwards or whatever. So I'm going to keep it's active from, let's keep it as today's date, 28. Okay, 28 I'm keeping. So from today onwards, so let my account has to get active. That's it. So now just quickly verify and we can create this bank, import the bank account. I'm giving it okay. Save. Okay. Okay. So there will be three different file will be get created. So that's the reason it was asking thrice. Um, Let me go here. Guru site one, site purchasing, pay. Okay, payment. Okay, all the important fields has been provided. That's it. Let me go on and run the programs. Load interface file for import. sorry, import supplier bank account, and let's load the file supplier bank account. Where is it? Import IBV supplier bank account import. I'm going to select the zip file and click OK. And let's run this particular job. Hope this will get successfully loaded. If it is loaded, then we can see the bank account in the for a supplier site level. So in our case, once it is successfully runs, okay, there is some issue with the supplier site. Let me see what is the problem. Mhm. Okay, our program is successfully completed. So I think we are good. Yeah, I think we are good. That's a error, so old error. So now let's quickly import the bank accounts. Import supplier bank account. So what is our bank batch ID? So this is the ID, right? So whatever ID we entered supplier bank account. So this is the number I'm providing it here. Okay, let it run. So just wait for 10-15 seconds. Let it get completed. Let's refresh the screen. Yes, this is also get successfully completed. Let's go to the supply screen. So let's see our supplier's bank account has been imported or not. Suppliers, Guru US, supplier 1. Let me edit it. Let's go to the sites and edit it and go to the payments, go to the bank accounts. That's it. So this is what we were created, right? Like bank account 65, 69. So this bank account has been successfully created. See, 65, 69, this is what we have created. Right? That has been successfully reflected in the supplier sites payment bank account level. Hope everyone everyone understood what is the process to import the suppliers and how to import the suppliers end to end. So now I have covered all the important topics to import the suppliers from basic profile to address to site and contact and site assignments. Everything has been covered, and including the bank account is very, very important. So this bank account, for your information, this bank it can be a business bank. The Bank of America can be used by a business. The Bank of America can be used to be suppliers. So it doesn't matter. So once a bank has been created, it can be used by anyone. So that's the reason Bank of America is simply taken from the existing bank. And bank account number should be unique. This bank account number, if you given given only for the your business as disbursement bank account, then it will not work here. So this bank account number should be very, very unique, and the rest of the other things and all you can keep reusing for the customers, suppliers, business, or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. So Bank of America is a common usage term, and only the bank account you should be make sure that it is very, very unique. Hope everyone understood. Please let me know if anyone have any questions. Please post your comments on my channel, and it will really help me to clarify your doubts. Thank you so much. See you all in another interesting session. Goodbye.